Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Asilo. Asilo is a tabletop role-playing game of clinical and psychological horror. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment as well. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Now, a moment, please, while I maximize. Here we go. All right. So, tonight I am going to talk about the Quick and Classic Asteria campaign that, well, rather the adventure, the scenario that I ran yesterday, the session, because there were some very interesting things about it. As always, the entire party of adventurers proceeded in the most cautious way. When they decided to keep someone on guard, when they decided that it was time for rest, to recover from their injuries, recover their spells, they wisely decided to leave someone on watch. And it was a good thing that they did, because if no one was keeping watch, what if they suddenly awoke? They got pulled from their dreams because the entire boat was pulled upside down into the water by the tentacles of some monsters that appeared, right? It was a very exciting battle because, and of course, this contains spoilers for the session. If you haven't seen it, please check out the playlist in the description below. It was thanks to having someone on guard that they managed to get up and prepare for the battle. Although there are still many mysteries, right? Were they actually the serpents of legend myth? What about that music, that song from a woman singing in the middle of the ocean at night? Very strange. Was it actually a woman? Was it something else? And once they got to the pier, just to the side of Shark itself, the city of Shark, it is very mysterious. Why does it have the docks or the piers on the side, right? And it looks like a city that is oftentimes visited by those that want to keep anonymity, that don't want to their names, their identities to become public knowledge. As you can see, the guards and the guards in the city and the guard stationed at the docks, they didn't ask for too many details. Once they got inside, perfect display how to take on a city adventure. Some players may feel overwhelmed because of the vastness, the huge possibilities, the many occurrences that could happen in a city. And some others may feel like city adventures are too boring. This is the fault of many introductory settings, introductory boxes, starter settings, etc. For many tabletop RPGs, they give you the typical dungeon adventure and that is it. They rarely give you a city type of adventure as an introduction. There are a few exceptions. For example, this is not like a complete adventure module, but the system to generate city adventures, which could be considered even better, that comes in Scarlet Heroes, that old school Dungeons and Dragons style of game that can be played solo or cooperatively or with a game master. You have a complete system to generate city adventures and to run such adventures. Don't feel overwhelmed, just like you saw. When it comes to the adventurers, everyone was doing their part in asking around for the locations of this or that. If you don't know if there is a store, ask around. Walk around. If nobody knows where that place is, walk around. Although brilliant decision on the part of Sam playing Peter of talking with the librarian to obtain information on all of the city, the inhabitants, the everyday life. And now he has a complete repertoire, at least when it comes to East Shark, of all of the locations. On the part of Odo, of David playing as Odo, of Giovanni playing as Munin, of Derek playing as Arisha. They carried out good lines of conversation with the guards, the Undertaker, exploring the library. They got their hands on a juicy scroll, revealing that perhaps the zombie problem that is occurring in the city has its origins outside of the city in the old, apparently cursed graveyard. Could it be so? And the session ended with a cliffhanger. A woman yelling in the streets. Why? So, yes, I encourage you to take on those city adventures. The cities hold many secrets. I remember my first foray into tabletop RPGs many years back. Well, that is debatable. You could say the more formal version. A lot of you know my first awful experience in tabletop role playing games, but later on I purchased the Introduction to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Second Edition box set, and there you have a village, but no adventure sits within that village. You only have like the village to visit it, a sort of adventure hub, but no inspiration or technical indications whatsoever on how to run city or even town-based adventures. All of the adventures happen somewhere out there in the dungeon, a haunted mansion, the mountain, underground, but no information on how to carry out those wilderness type of situations or, like I said, city-based situations, adventure scenarios. Roleplay solves everything, and Sam, Giovanni, David, Derek, they are quite proficient in employing roleplay to obtain whatever they need. Asking around, looking around, interacting with the game world, in the present, in the now. I think it was perfect roleplay on the part of everyone. I cannot think of a single moment. There was this like little, very little moment where Giovanni was saying will, but he maybe he was his intention was communicating that to his uh, foster brothers and sister. That's why he started. I will go, and I told my, and as I tell my fellow my brothers and sisters. So that's a great way. Role play solves everything. If you suddenly find yourself going out of the present, role play, and it's fixed. The immersion is preserved. The magic continues. And it makes sense because Giovanni is also a game master, dungeon master. So everything ran perfectly. Thank you for watching this video. Again, if you haven't seen that session, definitely check it out. If you haven't seen the other parts of the Asteria campaign, the information, you will find it in the playlist description of this video. So thank you once again, and thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop role-playing games, you are not having conversations about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you and see you later.